Chicago Bears Now is presented by Roan. Go ahead and upgrade your closet today. Commuter Collection, I'm rocking the golf polo. You should too. 20% off with code CHATSPORTS at roan.com/chatsports. Get started today. My name is Harrison Graham. Day one of mandatory minicamp is in the books. Some reactions, some news, some takeaways from the practice and from some of the press conference stuff afterwards as well. Let's get started with the attendance, which was perfect, at least in terms of everybody being there. The entire roster was there, so no holdout, nothing like that. Not that there was any expectation that that would be the case. Obviously, Jalen Johnson got his contract, so everyone there, no issues on that front. However, any guesses on who didn't practice? I think you can guess one. Kevin Fishbane and several others with the note that Montez Sweat and Nate Davis did not participate in team drills. We'll talk about Montez Sweat in a second, but consider me shocked that Nate Davis didn't practice. I mean, what are we going to do with this guy? Like, I don't mean to be harsh, but in last offseason, we got caught off sides. He had the family thing going on. Like, I get it. But this guy came in with the reputation of, there were kind of leaks out of Tennessee. He doesn't like to practice, this and that. Well, that's been pretty damn true since he's been here, regardless of reason. Unless there's some news this offseason we don't know about. Sometimes the guy's there, sometimes he's not. What he's never is practicing. Like, I just don't get it. Like, and I guarantee you, if Ryan Poles could have a redo on this one, he would not have signed Nate Davis. And look, they needed offensive line help. He was one of the best guards on the market. They got him at a reasonable price, $10 million per year, where you're seeing guys getting 20 now. So, like, it made sense, but I mean, I don't know, man. It's not like the NBA when you're a superstar and if you don't practice, it's not a big deal. You got to practice in football, man. Like, there's just so much going on. So, I don't know. I continue to monitor this situation. I am not convinced this guy's going to be your, week in, week out starting right guard. We'll see. Maybe there's an explanation. I will say this, just to add fuel to the fire. So on Montez Sweat, Matt Eberflus said, we're going to ramp him up. He'll get in some team drills likely as the week progresses. He wasn't at OTAs. Again, two different situations. Sweat comes in on the trade last year, transforms the defense, becomes a leader, gets paid. Like, if he's not at voluntary workouts, no big deal. He's there today doing stuff off to the side. I expect him to be out there. I thought it was pretty telling that Matt Eberflus didn't even bring up Nate Davis, the only other person who wasn't practicing. So, I got to tell you, man, if they could get out of this contract with no penalty, I think that would be a no-brainer. But that's not the way it's set up. They're kind of stuck with him this year unless they just want to cut him and not save any money, which I don't think that'll happen. But who knows, man? It's I don't even think concerning is the right word. It's just annoying at this point. Like, that's kind of the way I would describe it. We'll have minicamp updates all week long, so hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. We will continue to keep you guys informed and hopefully entertained. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. It's 100% free. All right, mixed bag for Caleb. I think more positive than negative today. Kind of a practice I would expect with both teams being at pretty much full strength. Offense had some ups and downs based on the reporting. Adam Johns had a couple of notes here, said success in 7-on-7s versus the starters. Yes, they were all there because remember last week they weren't when Caleb and the offense had a good day. Only errant throw was picked off by safety Kevin Byard. The Bears starting defense dominated 2-minute situations of Caleb Williams and company. So, again, kind of that up and down. I saw another tweet where Caleb probably had his best day in the 11-on-11s up to this point, so that's a positive. 13 of 15 in 7s. One of the incompletions was that pick to Kevin Byard. Pretty good, though, 13 of 15. Both 2-minute drills, 3 and out, so defense certainly were in control of those situations. My takeaway is you like to see the back and forth. I mean, you just want to continue to see this kind of steady growth. Like, I don't think we're going to get to the point where Caleb and the offense is dominating the defense every day. That'd be kind of a concern. This defense has been together for 2.5, 3 years now at this point in time. So that is not something I expect, but let's continue to stack days and continue to build in the right direction. What is your confidence level in Caleb Williams? Scale from 0 to 10, 0 being not at all, 10 being very. Feel pretty good. I'll go 7.5 right now. Hopefully that number continues to climb. We are sponsored by Roan here on today's episode of Bears Now. They reinvented the male's closet because the men's closet needed some radical reinventing, and that is where Roan stepped up to the challenge. And they just can get you fitted for every situation with their commuter collection, which offers the world's most comfortable pants, dress shirts, casual wear, and a whole lot more. Blazers also. As simple as, getting out of bed, going to the grocery store, to attending a wedding, a funeral, a business meeting. They got everything in between and on both ends of the spectrum. Go check them out today. Roan.com/chatsports, code chatsports. Simple, stylish, but comfortable. The 4-way stretch fabric that Roan uses in their material is fantastic. And their clothing is machine washable and has anti-odor technology as well. Don't have to wash it as often. Don't have to go to the dry cleaners anymore. You're going to save so much money up front with the 20% off with code chatsports, and in the long run by not going to the dry cleaners anymore. Roan.com/chatsports. That's RHONE.com/chatsports. Code chatsports gets you 20% off. Let's talk about Austin Booker. He was flashing today at Minicamp, was working with the twos on defense, and Zach Pearson had this note that obviously no pads right now, but Austin Booker was the highlight for the second team. Got off the edge quick, he said. Would have had at least one sack, had a few more pressures against the second team offense, which, look, that's a good sign. Obviously, it's not against the ones, but you'd like to see this guy have high level of success against the twos. But as a raw prospect you got in the 5th round, if he can have high level of success against the twos, I feel decent about his chances of being able to rotate and have some success as a rookie. Now, is he going to go out there and be your number 2 edge rusher opposite of Montez Sweat this year? Probably not. Like, he's still raw. He's got a lot of growing up to do in terms of his skill set and everything like that. But snaps are available for this kid, man. DeMarcus Walker's a guy they like to move around, play inside, play out. There's been some chatter. Maybe they'll go sign another edge rusher. I would certainly like to see that. Montez Sweat actually said a couple of things interesting today. He said, one, Jacob Martin has been flashing in his eyes, a veteran edge that they signed in free agency. But also he had this to say about Austin Booker. He said, I'm excited about him. He's got the whole makeup from the frame to the pass rush ability. And there were some comps to Sweat in the pre-draft process, just in terms of he's got the raw tools to be a good player at this level. So we'll see how it goes. He's very much a developmental player, but he's got the tools, the frame, and the skill set to be a good pass rusher in this league. And if he can give you some punch as a rookie, that would certainly pay dividends for this defense. All right, some other minicamp nuggets, a little rapid fire here. Caleb Williams working on the cadence. Trying to get free plays. Obviously, a lot of quarterbacks coming into the NFL. They don't really do that in college. Not very often. It's just different type of offenses. So that's something they're working on with him. That's something Justin Fields really improved on last year. They got several free plays, including a long touchdown pass to DJ Moore against the Lions, if you remember, on 4th down, which was a big reason why they won that game at home against Detroit. So something they're working on. Flus and Cole Kmet both talked about it after practice today. Matt Eberflus fired up about Keenan Allen. He raved about him for a couple of minutes. His route running, his size, which we haven't talked about a ton on here, but about 6'2". He brings a good frame to the table. His ability to beat double teams and just get open, I think that's going to be really helpful for Caleb Williams, even if he is just here for the 1 year, which that obviously remains to be seen. Kevin Byard's presence has been felt, I think, since the day he signed here. You're talking about a veteran who's never missed a game in his career. He says he's only missed one practice in his career, and it was due to one of his kids being born. He's just always available. He's vocal. He's a leader. He had that interception today. I think that's going to be a pretty notable upgrade over Eddie Jackson and what's already a very good secondary. So excited about him. And a fun little story here, pointing to Caleb Williams' competitiveness. Cole Kmet was one of the players who took to the podium after practice today, along with Montez Sweat. And Kmet told a story about recently some of the guys were out at Topgolf playing, and Kmet's team was going up against Caleb's team. And Topgolf had, I think, midnight is when he said they closed. And they were still playing. The game hadn't finished, and Caleb wanted to finish the game. Like basically was like, yeah, we're not. we're not letting you guys close until we get this done. Now, I don't think it probably went down literally that way, but they stayed open, let them finish because Caleb wanted to keep the game going, and ultimately Komet's team won. But a lot of stuff you heard around draft time from Caleb himself, but also people around him. Polls said when they did their research, they kept hearing this brought up, how competitive that this guy is. I mean, Caleb himself called himself a fierce competitor. If the guy is trying to win a Topgolf game up until 1 o'clock in the morning that Cole Kmet mentioned around they ended, I think that's just kind of a fun story. But it also points to just how much fire this kid has and how much of a competitor he is. So that's very fun and exciting to think about. All right, there you go. Day 1 in the books. We'll be back tomorrow for a Day 2 minicamp reaction. Hopefully a little more Montez sweat and team drills. We'll see if old Nate Davis gets out there. I'm not holding my breath, but if any other news drops, we will have you covered as well. So hit that subscribe button. My name is Harrison Graham. Peace.